Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the usual Tricore Sunday stream. How are we all doing today? Let me know in the chat box. I'm just gonna get things sorted out. Excellent. Right, do let me know if any volumes need to be adjusted, because it's been a while since I've been on this, so let me know if anything is too quiet or too loud. And let's get going. Yes, Dinosaur King, it looks like it's just you and Zippy at the moment. And that's pretty much how it started last stream, and it suddenly took off. So let's hope more people arrive. So what's the point of today's stream? I think we need to finish the swamp area down here, and I also want to think about how we're going to construct the desert biome. I'm not quite sure how to do the divide between the desert bit and the non-desert bit yet. I'm thinking maybe have a ridge line running between. Either that or have like a gorge or like river or something like that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm going to get started by finishing off the swampy sort of exhibit first. We've got our T-Rex down here, and we have a mixed Nigersaurus and an Ankylosaurus exhibit down here. So I'm not sure what we'll do for the last of the swampy areas. Maybe folks in chat can have a think about what they would like the last of the swamp area dinosaurs to be while I am filling in its enclosure. How has everyone's Sunday been? Swamp can be Oranos and Kentros, a mix of CC and base. Good, glad to hear it, Dino. Chuck in some trees at that end, and chuck in some trees at that end. Excellent. Hello, Guillermo. Welcome to the stream. That one is a tad large for this enclosure, as is that one. As is that one. So maybe just a small one in the background, perhaps. Maybe one over there. Let's put in some other types of tree. I don't mind if this side is a bit more forested than the other side. We'll just make it look like it's recovered better. God, those T-Rex are loud. Rocks. We need rocks in here, don't we? And we could probably do with changing the colour of the water. There we go. That's better. Good. Right, so Dino King suggested Uranosaurus and Kentrosaurus in here. I'm not convinced. I'd kind of like something a bit more swampy. And not necessarily just a herbivore either. I mean, carnivores would be okay. Actually, we don't have that many herbivore enclosures, actually. So, yeah, maybe some herbivores would be nice. Let's have a look at the skin list and find out what skins look good. Dane's new microphone arrived today, so that's all of us in the house pretty much with decent microphones, which is a good thing for you guys. Yeah, we don't have any ceratopsians in the park yet, Guillermo, so that might be a good call. So which ones are the best? Casmo. Maybe Pentaceratops? I'm probably guilty of not using Pentaceratops quite as often as I should. So there's some Pentaceratops in there. There it is. I've got Svalbard Rhino or Calcrana. Right, let's actually look at the Pentaceratops entry and find out what the frill colours are. So Rana is orange and grey stripes, Calcrana is green purple, Lithobate's yellow, white, yellow, green, blue frill. Yellow, blue and green frill sounds quite nice. So Papurana. Okay, let's go with the ones I've listed out in green here. So Lithobates and Mangrove Forest. And then we'll grab, what was it? Svalbard. With Rana or Calcrana. Go with that one. Nerd Guy is here. Hello. Nerd Guy is finally able to tune in since he's not working today, which is good. Hello, Herman. You're also here. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh god, I've just made a mistake. Well, at least our Pentaceratops looks nice. Chopper. Rather quickly. Add task. Can you just trank those two rather fast? Jolly good. Oh dear, that's a silly mistake. No worries, Zippy. Well, it'll be on the channel for you to watch after the fact. So, wrong gate exactly. It's alright, they won't get very far. So I've already decided I want there to be an enclosure here along this concrete wall. I want that to be the back wall of another enclosure. So I'm thinking this enclosure will be quite long, and we'll have viewing galleries at that end. And we could probably continue it around to this side. But I'm not sure if I kind of want the desert area to be a bit bigger than it is, because there's not much room here to do much with. So let's have the desert area actually up to there. That's a bit better. Bit more sizable. Still need to think about how to do the transport, because we know that we've got one stop here. There needs to be a stop somewhere around here. There needs to be a stop somewhere down here. And then there needs to be obviously one for the desert area. Now, I'm not sure whether to use the San Diego amphitheater as basically like the entrance to the desert bit. Like have the tour ride or whatever stop in here. I think that might be a nice way of sort of doing an entrance to the park. They are knocked out, that's good. In there. And in there. This concrete wall obviously needs to come across, because that will form this sort of edge gate like you've got down here. So where to put the desert enclosure? The desert entrance, really. If this is going to come out, connect over here and then go all the way back, how are they going to get into there? Possibly monorail? But then we can't really use the amphitheater and the monorail together, because the amphitheater is not tall enough. Where did the amphitheater go? I could just use the amphitheater as guest, as an enclosure, but it seems a little bland and boring. I like the idea of it being an entrance. Bum 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 bum. I suppose I could put like a park entrance actually in here and claim it's some sort of tunnel, I suppose. Then I think I need to delete that one over there for it to actually work. Right, are the Pentaceratops happy? Let's make sure of that. No, because I need ground leaf. Okay. Ground leaf. Plenty of ground leaf for him. Oh yeah, I think the frill colours work. Good. That'll do. Oh, it's a quiet day today. Right. Oh, my throat's feeling a bit napped today. Maybe this orange juice will help out. Right. So the tool ride needs to come over. We also know there needs to be, since this is Jurassic World. Blimey. Yeah. Right. Since this is Jurassic World, we need to have the Innovation Center here somewhere. I don't like the idea of having the sort of... I think that should be the backside, to be honest. Yeah. We'll have that as the backside. Main path color is black. Oops. There we go. And I kind of just want this rear section to be a viewing tower, I think. Don't quite like the way that that one ends up being not centralized. No, that's just going to spoil the view, isn't it? From down here. Yeah, we're going to have to leave that clear, which is fine. Just turn this into some sort of seating area or something. That's fine. Okay. So the tour ride comes out of here. There needs to be another monorail, another tour ride station over here. So then the tour rider can go back along this concrete fence and connect to the one that's going to be over here. So, attraction. I know you hate compies, but that tiny triangle can probably have 5 to 8 compies, maybe 10. It probably could. We'll never know. I'm sorry, I just won't have them in my park. They are entirely useless. And I do not want to waste space on entirely useless animals in this park. The idea of this park is also not to force dinosaurs in absolutely everywhere, because what's the point? The game can't, as Evo has discovered, annoyingly, the game cannot cope with large numbers of dinosaurs as it is, so there is no point trying to force more species in than the game can handle anyway. And the compies didn't do anything. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, well, they're kind of pointless. They don't... They're too small to be seen, really. And because they're too small to be seen, why bother having them in the park at all? Because the whole point of, you know, having dinosaurs in your park is for them to be visible. So guests are complaining about your transport rating. There's a shock. Guests complaining about something, like they always bloody do. Right, there's the emergency fence. That's fine for the moment, but I might get rid of it later on and neaten that up. Right, tour route. One and two. You can come out of there and then switch back to concrete. There we are. Oh, since the Pentas are alone, add every movie skin in your gender skins. I kind of think that just some lone Pentaceratops here is acceptable enough. I might change my mind later, but for the time being, I'm happy with that as it is, and I kind of want to focus on the desert area this time round, Dino. Since that's what's in the description to do. Okay, let's put in the ridge, which is going to mark the boundary of the desert. Don't want it to be too unnatural in look. That's fine, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Should we do a ridge down here as well? I think we will. Just had a thought, I can use the monorail to connect the desert bit up to the rest of the park, but I can use the Jurassic World gates to make it look a bit more interesting. Where is the Jurassic World gate? I think it's in is it in decorations? No. I think it's in the monorail section. Monorail gate, there we go. So I can dump that in somewhere, and we can use that to sort of make the entrance to the desert look a bit more grandiose. So let's put it in like around here. Like so. By the way, if people haven't realized already, we do now have a community tab since we hit the 500 subs. So there are a couple of, well, there's actually a poll on there at the moment. So if people would like to check that out and vote, it would be handy. I'm going to be using that community tab quite a bit for things, so do keep an eye out on it. I like that little enclave we've got going on there. That's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's just smoothen out these areas. Good. And we can lead the monorail through there easily enough. And think about what to do. So the monorail station will actually be over here. Kind of tempted to have the monorail station in the background of that section over there, because I'm still unsure what I'm going to do with this in the middle. I was thinking of having a monorail going across to do something with the middle, but I don't want it to spoil any of the views. I could always use a hyperloop or something. Might put our campground in there. So monorail station can be... I suppose actually the monorail could be over here, the station. I mean, in the actual film, the monorail was... the monorail station seemed to be actually attached or just next to the main entrance, so... Curve it around through the gate. I don't like that. I feel like we need more of a straight line. So maybe we can have it down here somewhere. Ooh, trying to get this to look how I want is proving difficult. It's one of those moments where you kind of have an idea of what you want it to look like in your head, but you can't quite manage it. So I feel like we need another plaza down here, really. Plight of every artist. Quite possibly. The main problem is where the innovation center is, because it's straight online to the avenue there, the main street, but it's not to anything else. So how do we get the path to sort of naturally... What if we follow this curve along here? Maybe put a water source in here? Have just like a large lake or something? That could work. Okay. I'm a bit more happy with that. When in doubt, add a water source. Nothing wrong with a big lake. Can help fill some space, and they usually look rather nice to boot. We can have it sort of as the edge of the tour ride there. If we actually continue it along this way into this little cutout, we can even try and make it look half natural. That's better. Yeah, that's definitely a bit more workable. I can do something with this. And even while I'm building this nerd guy, I still have that bloody song from The Witcher stuck in my head. I hold you entirely responsible for this. Seems a bit too dark. Let's lighten it up. Exactly. Right, now the station for the monorail could go opposite here. Guests monorail. Don't start singing it. Good. It's just gonna make the problem worse. Right, now how does that look from over here? Ugh, it's a bit obvious. Can we save it by adding some trees in around it? Is that less obvious? Much less obvious. Okay, monorail track comes across here, over the lake, through monorail gate. Still don't like the way it looks. Very frustrating. Maybe we should have the innovation center on the other side. I don't know. Ah, frustrations abound. It's also very quiet today. Not used to chat being so quiet. Or rather, it wasn't quite this quiet last time. Maybe everyone's busy enjoying their summer holidays. Let's just get on with this side of the park. Maybe we'll have an inspiration. Right. Amphitheatre. Now, the monorail is too... It would actually go through, but it would not go through there. But it would go through something like that. But then I actually think the stations are too big to fit inside of those. It would just about fit. Okay. That's cool. Then it doesn't really make sense with all the seating and everything around it to have this as where the monorails stop. What if it was... What if we had it basically at the back of the building and made it look like they sort of go inside? Hello, Crowny. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Yes, it kind of does look okay from that side. You know what? Let's do something like that. Where will the monorail cease? Let's have the monorail cease somewhere up here. Yes, I know guests are complaining that the transport rating is low. It's because they're all American and they don't want to walk any distance. I jest, obviously. I'm sure there are many healthy Americans. That'll do, pig. That'll do. What is a healthy American? A European, Crowny, probably. Kind of want the monorail to kind of follow the line of the forest. Can we turn this track slightly? So they come through the gate, and as they do this turn, there'll obviously be exhibits down here for them to be able to look at. I want to continue to hide the tracks more effectively. Just like that. So they'll come around here. There'll be exhibits down here that they'll be able to see from the windows. They'll climb up this, climb up the ridge line. They get a nice overview from there, and then they drop down. That's a bit of a severe drop, isn't it? It's a very severe drop. There are multiple biomes in this park. If so, you're keeping species in the biomes they live in real life. It's not really what I would call a biome. It's more just theming. So we have sort of like a swampy theme area over here, and a kind of desert, not a desert, sort of a river going on here, and over here is going to be sort of basically the desert sort of theme area. So everything is going to be themed. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm doing it as a biome. If I was going to do it as a biome, it would be a lot more difficult actually. Mostly because the game has its biomes already in there, so it's kind of not very easy to actually do biomes anymore. Why are you not removing that bump? Okay. That might be as good as we get it. That's fine. That is fine. But we can certainly put some desert sort of inspired animals in here. Probably Spinosaurus, I'm thinking. Might be a good animal to have in the good view of the monorail here. Now we definitely need to have a couple of entrances here. I might switch to using the posh path colour for the desert. By the way, if you are a modder, my next path pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2 should be out possibly by the end of today. I need to do one more path type, and then it will be ready to go. Right, so we have our entrance. We just go straight lining it. No, we do not. That's not very interesting. I kind of want the edge to be lined with path, and for us to use the center. Desert animals in this game are Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, Nigersaurus, Majungasaurus, Dimetrodon? Gallimimus, Therizinosaurus, and Velociraptor. Are you basing that on where they're discovered in the map in the present day? Because I'm not sure they're entirely desert animals in terms of their actual prehistoric environments. Pretty sure Therizinosaurus is not a desert animal. Kind of like that a bit tighter than that if it's possible. I don't mind if rocks cover the path slightly. That's fine. I can manage that. That's better. Just think that has a little bit more interest to it. And we can, you know, line the edge of the path with decorations and stuff. Temporary forests. Well, like I say, we might put Spinosaurus in here. But apart from that, I'm not going to be limiting myself to just animals that lived in a specific biome, because that's not really the point of this park. By the way, if people are in need of inspiration for their parks, the second part of the walkthrough, my walkthrough park building series, was posted earlier on this week, where we look at making nice looking entrance areas. So if people are having difficulty figuring out how they want to start their parks off, I suggest you give that a look. I tend to just use animals that look cool. Yeah, same here. I very rarely, I don't think I ever did for Jurassic World Evolution 2. I don't think I ever, 1 even. I don't think I ever did a park where the species were restricted in any way. I think the only time I did that was when I did my Walking with Dinosaurs park. Right, we'll definitely use this area here for a bit of a decorative feature. Terrain constraints. Where and how? What's terrain constraining here? I know you can put water in here. Is it the path? Can you not put water inside of the... I thought you could. Can you add a Titanosaur? Apparently they're indigenous to my home state of Nevada. I don't think we have a species of Titanosaurid. I think Dreadnoughtus is probably as close as we have. But we'll certainly put one in if Dreadnoughtus is classified as that. It's probably one of the gaps in this game has with its dinosaur rosters. Yeah, Iguanodon. So the American Iguanodon is called Dakotodon. But it is basically exactly the same. It's just an Iguanodon with a different name, really. I do want there to actually be quite a decorative feature here. So maybe we'll just fill this up. Iguanotitan. Huh. There's so many new dinosaurs and new prehistoric animals coming out all of the time. It's becoming almost impossible to keep up. And I know people would say, oh, well, it's because of Jurassic World, but I actually think it's more because there's just more interest in dinosaurs in general. I don't think it's specifically Jurassic World that's really done it. I think there's just so much more interest in dinosaurs regardless. God damn it. Let's... Okay. That's fine. It is sad that Jurassic World Evolution 2 just forgot about Megaraptorans, Prosauropods, and Oviraptor. I'm disappointed we haven't had a Prosauropod yet. I agree with you there, because they were an important group of dinosaurs. I do feel that they've kind of been ignored. I think Oviraptor will come. I think since it's been in the movies, or it's been in the movie, they can't really ignore it. Prosauropods are weird. I wouldn't say they're weird. They're unique in their own way. They're just they were just an evolutionary idea that eventually led to sauropods. The sauropods were mightily successful, so... Bugger. Don't want to go too heavy on decorations. If I had Kyodenics fence mod, I would know what to do, but again, until we have it back... kind of want maybe a couple other fountains around here. roughly in a similar place. It's coming together. Megaraptorans have beefy arms and weak jaws, so both these groups of dinosaurs could add something new. Personally, I would like to see omnivores being added officially. There were plenty of omnivorous species of dinosaur. In fact, things like Gallimimus and Struthiomimus and Archaeornithomimus really ought to be omnivorous. So it would be nice to see that feature come to the game. That just basically spoils the view of the fountain. I like how that looked, but just it spoiled the view of the fountain. I feel like we do need to have something in the front. Just to break up where the guests enter on this sort of seating area. See you later, Crony. Sometimes less is more, that is true. Right, let's make this a proper seating area. How about you, Dinosaur King, since you're still here? What dinosaurs would you like to see be brought in? Or even what sort of dinosaur-related features would you like to be seen brought in? Ambiraptor. Is that because of its name, or...? It's a vampire. How do you mean it's a vampire? Oh, I see. Maybe just continue the whole plant pot thing in those edges. Yeah, that's okay. Five on each side? Yeah. I think that's an okay entrance plaza. I think it'll look especially good in the dark. Fletcher, which one would you pick more? Abelosaurids or more Dromaeosaurids? Neither, to be honest. I think the game has too many carnivores already. I think if anything, we need more types of small animal that are not carnivorous. I think we need things like Protoceratops. I think we need things like the Prosauropods. And I think we need more sort of creatures for the lagoon that are a bit different to what we have. I think we need stuff like Archelon and the Symbospondylus, the supersized ichthyosaurs and stuff like that. I think that's what we need for the game. I don't think we need more Abeliosaurids or anything like that. We have quite a lot of what I would consider medium-sized carnivores. You know, we have Majunga, Metric, Cantha, Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, Kinjausaurus, Megalosaurus. We got quite a few now. 3 days without electricity, stuck in home in a thunderstorm, unable to do anything is horrifying. Anyways, hello there, folks. Blimey, Neron, I hope you're doing okay. I know that Sri Lanka's going through a lot of stuff right now. So I hope you're doing alright and staying out of the worst of the mess that's going on. Let's just actually... Can we put just a tiny little dune? Oh wow, okay. Not allowed to edit the terrain at all inside of there. Okay, fine. If Frontier makes a small herbivore pack, they better add Microceratus and Psittac. Oh, Psittacosaurus is another good one that we could have in, for sure. Right, I'm actually going to leave that entrance area since I want to kind of leave it and come back to it. I want to actually get the Spinosaurus enclosure put in. Because that's going to require a lot of water. And it's going to be sort of the main enclosure for the desert, basically. I want it to be the big ticket item. So I want to work on making it really impressive. So I think that's acceptable in terms of space. Just kind of want to hide that really ugly looking concrete. There you go. Excellent. Listro. Yeah, I'm doing alright. The damn storm did cut my electricity. So what did I miss in the last 3 days? Not too much, Neron. Not too much, to be honest. Rhamphorhynchus would be nice to have. I think the pterosaur types are quite restrictive as well. They're all fairly large. The only small one we have, really, is Dimetrodon. The rest are all pretty... Dimorphodon, even. The rest are all pretty big. So, some Rhamphorhynchoids, like Rhamphorhynchus, would be nice. I actually wonder if we could do one of those elevated park areas. Maybe drop this down. Because I don't want to use just the boring old attractions. I would kind of like to use one of the lagoon ones here. So they get like an upper level and a lower level. So maybe we could have upper area over here and it going to a lower level. See how far down we can dig before it spoils at all. That's acceptable. They could still see it from the monorail track. How deep does it have to go for the stands? I was only trying to get an idea, game. You don't have to be a douche about it. Is that too deep? I actually think it is a bit too deep. See what it looks like anyway. Let's put in the water. And whack in I mean, we could, in theory, we could raise this lower section up slightly, more in line to the bottom of this. We could leave it slightly above. I like the idea of being slightly above, to be honest. Because then we can just line the bottom with rocks or something. I'm happy with that. We're gonna keep that at that. Let's put in a second one. Whoops. this is... like that. So we got 2 galleries over there. Oh, Zalmoxes would be lovely to see. You know Zalmoxes is my pet project. I love Zalmoxes. Basically a midget iguanodontid from Transylvania, of all places. And it's so adorable as well. Okay, so Spinosaurus have this entire area down here, which is all going to be water. Save for a sort of beach island in the middle. Like that. And then they'll also have part of this side as well. That's probably sufficient. And we'll just have some normal galleries. Those T-Rex are loud. Fencing needs to be hyper secure. So that's layer 1. And that will be layer 2. Yeah. Okay. Let's put in layer 1. I asked you to curve it. Thank you. Okay. And layer 2. Okay, where does the path start to curve? Basically here. Curve. No, curve. Thank you. Excellent. Nice and secure. Apart from, you know, the obvious gap at that end, but we won't talk about that right now. Just have that skew off into the tree line. I suppose we need to start thinking about skins for our Spinosaurus as well. I'm always tempted to put one of those BIOSYN viewing things here. Maybe elsewhere. I think it would spoil the view. Good. I think I might put some like floodlights along inside between the paths as well, so this area is flood lit when it's dark. I think that might have a nice effect to it. Right, invisible fencing now needs to go in. A great example of Frontier stealing a modder's idea and then doing the job twice as bad. Excellent. Right. Fish feeders need to go in. Invisible fish feeder. 2 and 3. There we are. Now we just have fish swimming about. Probably do with putting some vegetation in here. Just to at least make it look like the fish have a point to being there. What to put in the center on this desert island? That looks fine. Maybe a few more rocks around here. Maybe a few manually placed trees. I really wish we had a mangrove or something. I miss like a proper big sort of tree, like the tree of life that we had in the first game. Maybe give this one ever so slight dune. That's a bit severe. Just want a little bit of raised. Just a little bit of raised ground. Trees. I'm kind of happy with that. I think that's a reasonable habitat for our Spinosaurus. I think the floodlights can go in. So the whole thing will be floodlit in the dark, pretty much, apart from this area up here, which I'm happy with. Right, Spinus. Yes, of course, yes. Needs path connection, whatever. Spinosaurus. Let's have a quick look at my list. It's been a very quiet stream today, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Right, Spinosaurus. Right. Deep red with white, grey with white, stripe and light red on sail, light yellow with my bright green with white stripes, pale colours, blue green, blue grey with orange frill, black dark grey, cyano green, white, golden snake. I like the sound of that. Mangrove forest with blue, purple, white, acid green or red. Let's go with blue. And I suppose you could do... It's alright, nerd guy. It's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong with a stream being quiet. Somewhat relaxing considering I haven't slept too well. Light yellow with white stripe, lighter green with white stripes, grey with white stripe, dark red with white. Dark, deep red with white. Let's have a... So that needs to be Sonoran Desert, and let's go with acid green frill, Papyrana. Intolerant. Lovely. Let's not release a 15-meter long carnivore into the park accidentally. Let's make sure it's gonna have somewhere nice to go. Gonna want to make sure that there's naturally. I'm going to make sure that there's quite a big plaza over here with guest buildings and such. And then we can just keep putting in... We might have time to put the Dreadnoughtus in, actually. I think the Dreadnoughtus we could probably put along this back ridge. I do hate how this mountain is in a really annoying place, because it just cuts off the light. Maybe connect this path up here down to here, and just make this one big plaza, maybe. Anyway, there's our first Spino. Beautiful. And let's go find the other one. Release via airlift. Legitimately one of the coolest dinosaur names. Yeah, it's difficult to think of one better, actually. Although I think the coolest fact, which I've actually only learned this week, was that the spiked tail on the end of the Stegosaurus, being called a thagomizer, was actually stimulated because of, I think, some TV show or some comic strip or something. Apparently they just came up with it out of the blue, and paleontologists decided it was a perfectly good word, and so nicked it. So it wasn't actually paleontologists who came up with the idea of calling the spiked tail club the thagomizer. Decided not to go up here, eh? Maybe we could put like a meat feeder or something up here. Scientists are terrible at naming things. They are, yes. I don't think it's unfair to say that. I suppose we ought to have the Spinosaurus skull here. as decoration. Oh, actually, can we combine... Well, I think that looks... I think that looks rather good. I still want that flaming obelisk behind it, but a bit more... There we go. Beautiful. And where's the... Oh, there's our other one. Spinosaurus number 2. Beautiful. It won't let me lower the standard until this path is connected up, which is fine. Right, I suppose the Dreadnoughtus enclosure is next. Maybe we should, like, continue this path. Onwards. We'll have the Dreadnoughtus in view line of here, maybe? They are pretty big. They'd make for a really good animal to see from the entranceway. By the way, Fletcher, have you seen that new Cambrian fossil? I've heard that there was a new thing discovered, but I hadn't read anything about it yet. Okay. This is just going to be one large plaza, basically. There'll be guest shops and stuff around it, but it's basically going to be one big plaza. Now, if the Dreadnoughtus are going to be here somewhere, or should we put them over here? Because if they were over here, then we could have viewing towers along this ridge line, peering over the edge. How tall is the viewing tower? Ah. Okay. Maybe the BIOSYN ones then? Just have like a line of BIOSYN viewing towers along the back. Actually, I know what I could do. We could kind of like do what we've done with the Spinosaurus exhibit, but do it on this side instead. So let's actually flatten this ridgeline out. And then let's stick in the water. Yeah, it's beaten the record for the most number of legs on a species, and like all Cambrian animals, it looks like when someone went high and tried to draw a shrimp. Most amount of legs, really? How many has it got? Because obviously, can't be more than like centipedes and millipedes, right? That actually might be too high still. Yeah, I need to lower it down slightly. Yep. One. Oh, hello. Two. There may be a third one up here. Three. And they can serve as some viewing onto the Dreadnoughtus that will be inside of here. We can have like a path that kind of goes up past this enclosure on top here. I'm thinking maybe we add like a... Where are the... Oh, there they are. Like maybe the old classic viewing center, visitor center up here. Maybe as a guest feature. Yeah. And then obviously we can have the path. We need to turn this slightly. Thus. It wouldn't surprise me if it's an anomalocarid. Those are some creepy looking shrimp crustacean fish things. Okie dokie. That might have been more of those than I wanted. The Dreadnoughtus. They've got to have a proper fence because they're very big and powerful animals. But at the same time, I don't want them to be feel like something, one of these aviary galleries maybe on the end. Oh. Bugger off fence, path, really. Maybe place another one. This it? My voice is definitely going and I don't know why. Right. Now I think we'll stick with one single layer of fencing. Because we don't need two for Dreadnoughtus. And what we'll do is we'll put some we'll put in like some viewing windows. So 1, 5, and then back to this. Maybe the same over here, so 1, 2, 3. No, this one we'll have to manually put in. Ah. One. Two. And then this can just gets pretty dark over here. But we'll make this the edge of the enclosure. Dreadnoughtus are the largest animals in the game, so they need plenty of room. Invisible fence, which needs to go along basically the edge here. Into the water. Highest number of limbs on any Cambrian arthropod with about 110 pairs of legs. Okay. That is a lot of legs. The Cambrian really was like planet Earth's we're just going to try any sort of shit out moment. It's like, life can be complicated now, so let's see what we can get away with. It really is amazing and pretty strange. That's kind of horrifying. Nerd guy is not fond of insects. Am I okay? Am I happy with that as an enclosure? Yeah, I think so. Right, I suppose we better get our lovely Dreadnoughtus going for Nerd Guy. What are they actually classified as? Let's check the database. Yeah, Dreadnoughtus are classified as Titanosaurs, so that's good. However, we are only ever going to use the 2022 skin on them because it's the only one they look any good at. Oh god, they only come in thingies of one. So to get a full herd, we're going to have to do it one at a time. This is why this system doesn't work, Frontier. While being able to breed eggs was a good idea, artificially limiting big creatures to one egg at a time kind of destroys the point of you having that system in the first place. I know it was done probably for game balancing reasons, but you just ended up completely removing the advantages that the system gave you. It's a bit of a forested dune there. And we need to wait for the Dreadnoughtus to be dropped in so we can determine what food it needs. kind of think that's potentially a little iffy, just left as it is. There he is. Considering that these choppers can realistically carry about 15 tons, considering the weight of one Dreadnoughtus, you'd need probably about 5 or 6 of those. There he is. Let's go grab the rest. And while that one's coming over, what does he need? Tool fiber and tool fruit. So what provides tool fiber? Calamites, cycads. Cycads provide ginkgo provides tool fruit, tool nut. Okay. Let's make that quite heavy on the old cycads. And then let's put in some ginkgo along this river. You right now? Tool fruit. Tool fiber. I did do that right. Tool fiber and fruit. Tool fruit, yeah. Good. Is huge. Just going to whack this onto fast forward because they take forever to bring these over. There's still quite a lot of this park to go. I've still got to do the rest of this area basically for the rest. Probably the gyrosphere. There needs to be a gyrosphere section in here somewhere. Finish connecting up the tour ride bit. Decide what's going in the center of the lagoon. Finish the main avenue. Decide what's going on over here. There needs to be an aviary in here somewhere. Maybe there should be. Maybe the aviary could be over here. Actually, we could have a bit of a desert aviary in the crook of this mountain. Actually, that might work. Low health. Why? Why are you on low health? Why are both of you on low health? Have you two gotten stuck? They have. They've gotten stuck on something. I think they both did. Ah, Frontier. Every time. Why are you all congregating at that end? Look how much enclosure you've got and you just choose to sit there. Ugh. You can take a dinosaur to water, but you can't make it drink. No, no. Oh, don't. It was moving. It was only temporarily stuck. And there's our final Dreadnoughtus. Yeah, today's been a strange one. This stream. I'm not 100% happy with anything I've done. I'm not massively happy with this enclosure down here. I'm not massively happy with this area over here. And I'm not 100% on how this desert area is shaping up. I'm going to stick with it. I might do a little bit more off-stream. Just see how it goes. I might change a few things around. You are, I'm afraid, Fallout. I was literally just about to stop. Just with the last of the titanosaurs going in. Donk. There we go. But there is the titanosaurs nerd guy. They're not a Nevada species, but we don't have a Nevada species, unfortunately. And there's our lovely Spinosaurus. Row, row, row. Looking good. And the other one was our Pentaceratops, wasn't it? Which over here. And they haven't tried to escape, which is good. Our T-Rex are still... Where are they? Oh, there they are. At least there's one. Oh, they're both there. There's our fluffy Rexy. And our killer turkeys. So the park is shaping up okay. I just think I'm not quite 100% sure on this desert area and getting the sort of connection bits. This is basically a station area for guests, really. It's just going to be guest buildings pretty much, and the monorail station and the tour ride station. You can probably cover it off with tree line and hide most of this ugly concrete fence with tree line as well. I still need to put the decorations in down here and then figure out the rest of the park. Gyrosphere tour has to go in somewhere, and we need to have an aviary somewhere. Maybe make the whole of this bit an aviary section. Not sure yet. Maybe you're having a creative blur moment. Yeah, I do tend to get this creative blur sometimes as I start getting further and further into a park. It starts becoming a bit harder to see what you sort of want it to become as space gets filled up. When you have lots of space to play with, anything is possible, so you kind of go nuts. But when space starts becoming limited, you start to get a bit stuck. Yeah, and I kind of need to decide what I'm going to do with the rest of the sort of secret facility / VIP area up here. I need to decide whether I'm going to actually give it guest structures or whether I'm going to make it quite staff structure-y, sort of facility heavy. So yeah, lots of stuff to finish up on this particular park of mine. Exactly, Nerd Guy. Which is difficult in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So next week there will be... I don't know whether I'm going to do a Jurassic World stream or not next Sunday. I might do War Thunder instead. I kind of feel like making next week a War Thunder week. Because I've got a War Thunder video to make. And... I don't know. I'd quite like to make next week a bit more action-packed. So I might continue Jurassic World Evolution 2 on the week after next. There will still be a Jurassic World Evolution 2 video next week. I'll try and get another part of the park walkthrough finished, because obviously that park needs to be carried on. In fact, let me just save this one. And let me load up that walkthrough park. Just so people can have a look at what we've done so far. So this is the walkthrough park. If you haven't seen it already, it's a new series I'm doing on the channel to build a park step by step as we go along, so people can see what sort of what the process is. This is the Arizona map. Obviously, I've put this large mountain and river in the middle of it. So part 1 and part 2, I discussed doing landscaping and doing your entrances. And part 2 was all about creating nice looking plazas. I am very happy with how this ended up turning into this raised aviary dome to function as a veranda, basically, a sort of gazebo for a guest seating area. The next part of this walkthrough, we're going to be looking into creating first exhibits and where to go, basically from creating your first plaza. The eventual aim is that I want sort of the enclosures in the park to wrap around this mountain in the middle. Probably have the path continue around the outer edge of the park and have all the exhibits kind of invisible fenced onto this mountain. But we'll see how it goes. I need to do more of that thing that Evo does, where she has like a big plaza area, but then she has like the little cutout in the middle, which is highlighted with light coloured path, and then she uses that for like trees and decorations and stuff. I need to do more of that because it looks really good. I've seen a couple of other things that other people have done in their parks, like using the lagoon sections to then fade into like a water source. I kind of want to try doing some more of that as well. But yeah, this looks really good. I'm happy with this. So there'll be another part of this walkthrough hopefully next week. There's a War Thunder video coming potentially today if the editing doesn't take too long. Actually, no, it won't come today because even if I edit it, I need to do the commentary, which will probably be a tomorrow thing. So that should be early next week. Part 3 of the walkthrough through this park next week, and then next weekend probably a War Thunder stream or maybe some more of teardown. I don't know. That was quite fun last time, although I'm at that really annoying level. So we'll see how that goes. I want to thank everyone for tuning in who has tuned in. It's been a quiet stream today, but it's been good to see you all. If you are new here and have not yet subscribed or liked, please do so, because we are gradually moving past the 500 mark and heading towards the 1000 mark, which is what is our target. I'm hoping we can get there potentially early next year. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and goodbye, everyone.